So the epoxy jig is just a great all-around jig. In this size, it's an excellent imitator of herring. Obviously there's various colors, greens, a good mackerel, etc. And what I like about this lure is it has ultimate casting distance, but at the same time the sink rate of this lure is far less than, say, a traditional lead jig. So you can fish this subsurface and in the upper portion of the water column, but it'll also sink, so when you do mark fish in the fish finder, you can also use it as a vertical jig. You know, today it's just absolutely perfect for imitating large herring.
So the way we've been fishing this epoxy jig, it's almost too easy. All we're doing is we're taking the jig, throwing it as far as we can, closing the bail, don't even have to let it sink, pointing the rod tip right at the lure, and just cranking it at a fairly slow pace. I was saying it was painful because there was fish breaking everywhere and you get excited and you want to reel fast and work the lure. But all you have to do is this slow, steady retrieve, and the lure has this really nice little wobble to it. Okay, so there's no secret that I'm a huge fan of the epoxy jig when it comes to tuna, albies, and whatnot. But what people don't realize is the epoxy jig is a really underrated striper lure. We're out here in Cape Cod Bay, and we've been fishing this amazing bite for the last week or so. The fish have been on herring. Now, this isn't as big as a herring, but it's got the color, it's got the real prominent eyeball, and it's got this really nice loose wobble that the stripers just can't resist. It casts a mile, and the results are pretty obvious. So we're gonna release this guy. Looks like Captain Mike's got a fish right behind me. But don't underestimate the effect of the epoxy jig when it comes to striped bass. It'll catch these just as well as it catches albies.
So the epoxy jig, this 3-ounce epoxy jig, just pretty much gives you unlimited range. We were just drifting, recollected ourselves after Terry's last fish, put this out there, a couple of twitches, and got this beauty. Now, needless to say, I am definitely a fan of using these epoxy jigs when they're keyed in on the herring.